it's Teresa. How are you doing today? Are you ready to start your adventures in drawing? You're going to need a small piece of paper for some notes, or if you're using a sketchbook, the inside cover. Someplace that you can constantly reference if you get frustrated. And there's a reason for that. We're going to go through a few points first. Okay? What you're going to need today is your paper, blendy tool, your light pencil, your medium, and your dark pencil. I just have the one out for right now. Your kneaded eraser, and your ruler. Now there's a reason you're going to want, well, you don't have to buy this, but school supply season is about to happen and things will become much cheaper. In some locations, Hobby Lobby's not, but Walmart and those places, wherever you have to shop, will have rulers like this, okay? We'll get into it, but this edge here is very helpful, okay? Now, let's get to the note-taking before we get serious. There's something I want you to have written in your notebook. There is a light, there is a medium, and there is a dark. Okay? You can do anything, I'm writing this on the side, with 3 pencils. Okay? I've proven it with the bird on the envelope, and I've done a dog, a little bulldog on a ball, and all that stuff has just been done with 3 pencils. But there's one more point that I want you to understand, and we're going to do that right now. Are you ready? You can do any eye shape, anything you want to do. You can do round, whatever you feel like. But if you're going to do an eye, the eye is always like this. Human eye, elf eye, monster eye, alien, zombies, you name it. But there's some things I want to point out to you real quick. The inside of the eye, I'm not going to get all fancy with you and explain the terms of the eyeball or what they are. I'm not going to do that. It's too confusing and too complex. So the inside of the eye has a little pink bubble inside. Yeah, this way I'm marking this. The inside of the eye is called a stationary point. Okay? Now, why is this a stationary point? Well, simply put, it's always there. It doesn't go up here. It doesn't go down here. It doesn't go over here. It stays right there at all times. It is important to understand the stationary point to your eye. Now we're going to get into something fun. And that is called, I should get a different piece of paper out. I apologize. Hopefully you can follow my notes here. A pivotal point. I'm going to write it wrong, but that's okay. This pencil is here so it stops going in and out. There are 3 locations for a pivotal point. Are you ready for the locations? This is a pivotal point. The upper lid is a pivotal point. And the lower lid can be a pivotal point. Now I know what you're thinking. How can the lower lid be a pivotal point? Well, it can be straight across to create an emotion such as anger. You can do the round eye. Doesn't matter. All it knows is you're going to go down and you can go up with this. Alright? For the pivotal corner here, you can, as if you saw the chubby bird, her pivotal point was here, her stationary point was here, in this. Pivotal point, yet again, pivotal point. Okay? This is always stationary. So this is right next to where the nose would be. We understanding each other? Let's go through that one more time on the back side of this piece of paper here. We'll go here, shall we? So this is your eye. This part here is stationary. So I'm going to put an S, which is right here. This is a pivotal point, and this is a pivotal point, as is the bottom is a pivotal point. Okay? Now, the bottom lid, you're going to say, I still don't understand how that can be a pivotal point. So when you go to draw your eye, if you kept this bottom part of the lid stationary, it's not going to look right. Do you see? So if you use the stationary point and then pivotal points, you're creating a whimsical eye. Okay? Hopefully you'll understand when we get started. So I just want you to make the notes on the stationary, and if you have to write stationary means do not move. Pivotal means it can go in this direction, and that direction. It can't go straight up and down because obviously eyes aren't like that. You're going to make it look funny, and if you want to do that, by all means, please do so. Let's get started. Now, there are many people who, when you start to art, they're going to tell you to draw your face and go down so far, and add the face or this and do this. I want you right now just to relax and know where the stationary and the pivotal points are. Alright? Now I'm going to try to step behind you here as you're on an angle from me, and that's going to make it a little tricky. But we've done it before, right, loves? Okay, because you now sit to the corner over here, rather before you were right in. So I'm going to duck and tuck here. Oops, I forgot my ruler. See, I'm forgetting rule number 1. My ruler. So, let's say we're going to make this, let's see. We're going to do whimsical face instead of serious. Alright? So, I'm going to mark it the 1, the 2, the 3, and the 4. Alright? So now I have my stationary, and I have my pivotal. Now if I were going to make this pivotal, I would take my ruler, I would mark the 1, or, well, listen to me, the 1. I would mark the 4, because that's the measurement I'm using is number 4. I'll get it there. I apologize. And get this off there. I'm not doing well. Alright, so far with me? And I would go right above that line. And do the same over here. I would use the 5 this time. And I would go right, oops, to the 4. Then I would take my measurement tool, and as you can see with the square, I'm off a little bit. So just drop that down, like that, okay? Now that we know our pivotal point is there, we're going to erase the bottom pivotal point. You with me so far? So far. I'm sorry, I'm nervous. This is a big deal to teach people. Okay, so told you we need erasers. So now that we have 1 here and 1 here, you're going to go, so now what? Well, that's easy. You can measure again if you're not sure of yourself. You can go in between the 2, and you can go, okay, so maybe here and maybe here is where I want the lid to meet. I don't do that. Why? Because this is where the fun part happens. I'm going to swoop up and swoop down, just like that. So you're going to see it on this side. Hopefully I can do it. I'm going to swoop up like that. I did a little too much of a point there because I'm working on an angle on myself so you can see. You with me? I want that to stop moving in and out. I apologize for that. So far, we've gotten the stationary here, the pivotal here. Alright? Now, you're going to go, where do I go now? Well, you could take your ruler, go to the 4 or whatever mark you want, and decide, I want to start here before I move up. So you can take the 4 right there and go right there. Or you can cheat side by side, use one eye and go one here, one there. See how far we were off on that? That's how it helps you. Now for this, I come down in an almond shape and swerve over. Remove that mark there. And down this way, and remove the mark right there. Okay? It's at this time now that I'm satisfied. Let me take a gander here. Yeah, I'm satisfied. So now you have start 1 to chubby chick eye. That's the little bird that I drew for my lovey subbies. I still have more to go. Now I'm going to take a darker one, which is going to be, well, let me see here. I'm not thinking clearly. Well, I'm going to just take my F pencil because it says that's my next step. But instead, I'm going to take my 3B. It's going to be a little darker, you're going to see. Alrighty then, so we have the eye stationary here. So I come in with my medium grade, or tonality pencil if you will, and I just trace this little line here. Alright. You're going to trace the line over here. Don't worry about the eyeball yet, because we're going to get there. Right now, I just want you to color in just a little bit. Okay? And before we continue on, you're going to need the rounded part of the eye, the crease to the eye, if you will. I like to exaggerate this. So it takes a lot of stress out of having to go thin, medium, thin, or thick and thin. I don't like to do that. I just like to get in and art. And I think this is going to help you out a lot too. You're going to take that same pencil, lightly. This is your medium tone, okay? Very lightly. You're going to just lightly go over this. And then as for the bottom lid, that's pretty easy too. And I know what you're going to say, what are we doing? I do half points. Now, we'll get you there to the full point. Right now, you're just practicing. Now, before you even say, I keep saying now and I apologize. Before you say, this is a face forward, full face. Yes, it is. I want you to get used to doing faces forward instead of the 3/4 face, the half face. Alright? This is where your heart's going to be when you want to start. So you're going to take that medium pencil again, and you're going to trace the outer part, not the inner. The outer. Okay? Now you're going to take your blendy tool. Are you ready? Now I'm using one that's new, and these are just fine with me. I don't really matter to me about it. Don't be afraid to come up and blend into the curve of the eye. Alright? I want you to. Now that we're here, see now, if I feel like this here is a mistake, because that's just my exaggeration, I can just erase it, no worries. So what I want you to do is I want you to come in, and you're going to kind of go at a circle when you blend this. It'll make your life so much easier if you blend in a circle. And I want you to fill from this corner of the eye down. I want you to fill all of it. And a little bit above it. This is going to set your eye into the face. Okay? Now on the bottom here, I'm just going to go in a little bit. And I'm going to give it just a little shadow. And I'm not worried about connecting the lines. It will do its own as you see it's trying to do now. And this here is going to be looking like a little grumpy person, but trust me, we'll get there. This is all about just practice. And whimsy eyes are so much easier to start with than if you were trying to draw a regular human being right off the bat. As you can see, I'm going to go halfway, right here. I'm going to go above that line that we just drew right here. Alright. And I'm using the 140-pound watercolor Canson paper. If you're using sketch paper, have at it. You'll do the same thing. No worries. Alright. So I'm going to just continue blending this. Then I'm going to blend right here, underneath, or to the corner of the eye, and kind of blend it down. Alright. And if you think you did a boo-boo here, if you went down like I did a little too far, no worries. You just pick up your pencil and you just keep going at it. Okay? The other thing that's really cool is if you've seen a flower shape or a tear shape, you can say, oh, that looks like a leaf. So if you're great at drawing leaves, you just come in and draw a leaf. And then you try to match to the other side without the ruler. I've done that and it's a lot of fun. Don't worry about if one eye's up higher or lower or whatever. You're just getting started. So I'm going to just blend that in a little more, and then we're going to blend in the eyeball. Are you ready for that part? You're going to take, I'm going to have to do it like this, loves. You're going to mark, you're going to do a half circle here, and a half circle there. Okay? You're going to do a half circle here, you're going to do a half circle there. As you can see, my circle didn't work out right because I'm being blind. And I'm looking over your shoulder. It's okay, I'm not worried. We make this do. Take your dark pencil, or your medium tone pencil. And I want you to come in right to where you drew it with your light colored one. And I want you to trace it. Like I said, I'm not worried if this is perfect or not. We don't care about that now, do we? Alright. Take your stump, okay? And you're just going to lightly. Now to make this curved, you have to shade it just a little. Don't worry about the little blacky point or the little colory points. Don't worry about that yet. We'll get there. Okay? I'm not going to use the medical terminology for it, as it makes things more confusing, and that is fun. The doohickey, the little black dot, the angered button, whatever, how you ever want to see it is your way, okay? No judgments. Alrighty? So far you're seeing that you have a fairly decent face. Before we go on any further, I want you to take your darkest color. This is where it gets scary. Your darkest color, and I want you to trace right above where you've already blended. You see how it deepens it? Yep, that's what you want to do. Okay? You're going to just push that like that. Have some blue bitters on there. Now, don't worry about cleaning your stump off or anything. It's going to get dirty here. So I want you to blend that in just sort of a little blendy blend. I'm not worried about getting it inside here because guess what's going to happen now? Are you ready? Deep breath, lovies. So, I went too far there. Shh, don't tell nobody. Now you're going to draw the little black anger dot. The little black anger dot is right here. If I have it a little larger on one side, which I do, I know how to fix it. I'll just erase it and come down. I'm not worried. As you can see, I'm overly stressed, aren't I? So for this next part, what you're going to want to do, are you ready? You're going to take your darkest pencil and you're just going to go right over that bottom line. Right here. Okay? Take your pale pencil, or your light pencil, I'm sorry. You're going to do a little white cast here. So what you have here has to go to here because the eyes mirror each other. Okay? You can't put this on the outside, it won't look right. You with me? And do a little triangle right here. Don't worry if the triangles match or whatever, you can get it. Take your darkest pencil and trace your triangle in your half circle, which are your highlights to your eye. Alright? There's a reason for this, because I tend to forget it. Okay? Now you're going to take that dark pencil and you're going to fill that in. You're going to fill that all the way in. We're going to make it pretty, pretty. You with me? Bet you didn't think you'd come that far, did you? Congratulations. It's fun, huh? We'll do paint next. I promise. I just want you to get some of the basic little standard, or the stationary, and then the pivotal points down. Because it's really important to have those. Because it'd be pretty funny if you put the eye upside down and all that good stuff. You know, you can do that. It's your art. Heck, I'm not going to judge you. Now, you're going to take your darkest pencil yet again. Here we go. You're going to do just the little corner right here. Just right here alone. Alright. Hopefully you can see how that's setting it in. And then you're going to go to the outermost corner of the eye and do it there too. Just like this. Alright. I'm trying to get it so it doesn't go in and out so much. Goodness gracious. Now you're just going to blend that in like that. Okay. Now I like to take my medium pencil. I like to kind of come to the outer part of the eye. I'm going to turn this so I can get my hand correctly. Just to the outer part of the eye to give it a little depth. Alright? I'm leaning on my arm to look over at you. And then I'm going to blend that little point straight down in to the shadow to the outer crease of the eye. Just like that. I'm going to do a little bit of the same in the center of the eye. Right here. Okay? I'm going to... So far, so good? Okay. Now, you're going to go back to your lightest pencil. Okay? Now, this is going to be a little crazy, but I want you to flick away from the grumpy part of your eyeball, which is your dart point. Alright, I told you I'm not doing the fancy lingo on this, I promised. Okay, so you've got that there. Now take your medium. And I want you to go in between every other one. Alright. And every other one. You ready? I want you to just gently come through and blend them in. Just like this. Okay? So far, so good. Take your lightest pencil. And right here, the base of the eye, or your waterline, most people will call it, but I don't do that. You want to lightly do little circles with your lightest color. And you're probably going, what are we doing? You'll see. Okay? Just at the base and the corners. You don't want to do all of the white area, because we're going to fix it now. Now you're going to blend that right in. Just like this. Okay? It's almost time to get your blendy tool out, which is your kneaded eraser. Are you ready? So you're just going to pull down, blend it all nice and evenly in. Come around here and just blend it all in. You're going to take your kneaded eraser, take your surface, alright, make a little cone shape, and just dot. It doesn't matter, just randomly do it. Okay? Now I come in with a little bit of my darkest pencil again. Well, my medium tone. I apologize, I thought I grabbed my darkest. I'll go after that here in a second. Now comes the fun part. I want you to take your darkest and just do the outer edges of the eye. Right here. Don't go into the white of the highlight into the pupil. See, I told you I wasn't doing medical terms. The thingy, the emotional. They dilate when you're grumpy, they dilate when you're happy. Okay? And just blend it in from the side. I know what you're saying, but Teresa, we're not done. Okay, I have to itch my nose here a second. Take your medium pencil and just do the same. Okay, do the medium pencil right in the same area. Alright, now we're going to blend that. And what did that just do? It just gave you a glossy part of the eye. And it made it rounder, if you can tell. Without any work at all. Isn't that just the coolest trick ever? Eyebrows. Now let's talk about the eyebrows. Are you ready? She'll get lashes here in a second. We have to do the eyebrows first. Depending upon your mood or where you want to sit with your eye, you can, the eyebrow pretty much comes to the corner of your eye. So what I do is 1 flick, 2 flick, 3 flick. Alright? Let's try that again. I come here and I go 1 flick, 2 flick, 3 flick. You can see they don't match, right? That's easy enough to fix. Because I didn't go down. I went down too far on this one. There we go. That's better. See how she looks now? And I know what you're going to say. There's no straight line. That's your base point. So when you have your eye, so your eyebrow, this is your eyebrow. The line is your base point. Okay? You're going to build off this. So on the center of the eye, on women, you're always going to have a thicker brow. Alright, so let's get started. You're going to take your pencil, which is just the one you started with, and I can see I'm not doing well on her eyebrows, and I don't really care about that because she's funny. So this one here didn't come down far enough. So this is where I just, I play around. I want you to play around too. You're going to flick. Just like this. Okay? Kind of keep a pretty steady stream of it going, but narrow it the closer it gets to the outer eye. Alright? So what I'm doing is taking just straight up motions like this. And don't forget to turn the stroke to the corner of the eye, so that means you're going to have to come this way. Alright? I hope I'm getting this across. I'm nervous to teach you this trick. I want you to draw with me so badly. Alright? The same goes here. This is going to be thick. I go across a little thick. Then I'm going to just sweep it up like that. Okay? And then you're going to do the same. You're going to go over it a few times. You're going to say, but now there's a line there, Teresa. blendy tool. Are you ready? I get my hands shaking up here. Okay, so one eye she's looking at you like, this is where you're going to show your expression. Now I know you're thinking, she's like, yeah, she's grumpy. No. You're just going to lightly up and down, and then you're going to turn. Okay? Use what's on your blendy tool to blend it. Okay? Don't be afraid to go below the line on the first part where it's longer, and then just shorten it and blend it. Alright? Like that. Confusing you? I know, I'm sorry. Drawing faces is difficult work here. Not. I like to come from sometimes the smaller side out, and then get a little bushier in the center here. And then do the same underneath. And depending upon her expression or what you're going for, if you did like I did and you're like, but I went too far, that's okay. Here's the fun part. You're just going to lightly dot that over the eyebrow. Just like that. Dot it over the eyebrow. Just like that. Can you see how that looks now? No two eyes are the same on a face, no two eyebrows are the same on the face. We ladies try, but it doesn't work. Deep breath, and this is where you're going to need a sharp pencil. Alright? I'm trying to figure out if this one's sharp enough. Time to do the eyelashes. Now, you can put eyelashes here, and you want to, you can, but what I like to do is I like to do where I know just past the corner of this eye, and I like to, you're just going to flick. And don't be afraid to go past that corner, okay? I like to call this the drama eye. Now you're going to go right here to the corner again, right here. Go over it how many times you want. If you want it fuller, by all means, go over it a few million times. Okay? Breathe in, fun, fun, fun. Now, we have the lower lashes. Now, what I like to do for my lower lashes is, these are just little bitsies. Just like that. Do the same over here. And you, my lovies, have just created your very first, and I do mean your very first whimsical eye. By no means are we going for human to human. We're going to go whimsical all the way, because if you make a mistake, it's part of the character. Alright? I will be closing the session right here, and then we're going to work on the nose. Are you ready? Fun, fun, fun. Tuesdays is the nose. Alright? See you in a few.